No, my mic wasn't on. Okay, now my mic is on. Unity. Okay, so so I uploaded the avatar icons that I made this morning. So we have avatars, we have profile avatars for every character. So we are going to load those in here, I think, for now. I'm not sure about this interface. I need functionality. I need form over function for now. So the plan is we'll load the character name, we'll load the character avatar, and then this information here is mostly going to be character database driven, right? Because except for rank, because a 4-star is always a 4-star, a 5-star is always a 5-star. Once an attacker, just like my grandma used to say, once an attacker, always an attacker, right? Once a fire element, always a fire element. Once a sword wielder, always a bastard. Sorry, my grandma didn't like sword wielders, but you know, once a sword wielder, almost a sword wielder. Skill cost is going to stay the same. Affection obviously will change, and rank will also change. So given that those are the ones that the player can change, I think rank, these are like constellations basically. I think rank wants to be with rarity. All right, let's go through. So I'm going to give the prefix of LBL for label rarity, and then the actual value I'm going to do TXT rarity. So then LBL rank. Why didn't that work? LBL rank. And then we'll do TXT rank, LBL class, TXT class, LBL elements, TXT elements, LBL weapon, TXT weapon, LBL. I'll put SK cost, TXT SK cost. LBL affection, TXT affection. Okay, that's those. What I might do is on rarity, I'm just going to make a special little TXT rarity class for TXT rarity. And what we're going to do, we're just going to add that to our little TXT rarity component, and we're going to set up some enums. We'll set up some good old juicy enums is what we'll do, and then we will have it update in real time. So we only need an update. So let me just have a look at how we do our enums. There you go, we do our enums like this. Okay, these enums are ranks. Now the reason I want to do this is because it's a bit of a pain in the butt to get the correct star symbol. It's not an asterisk, it's this one. To get this little symbol here can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So all of our units are, well, not all of our units are, oh, I don't know whether it's going to allow this. It doesn't like that, does it? It might be because it's encoded in ASCII and not Unicode. No, it doesn't like that. Unexpected character. Oh, we've got a job for ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Got a job for you. Okay. I am trying to set up a little class for a text component, for a text mesh component, which represents my rarity items. However, it seems VS doesn't like the Unicode. What's the easiest way for me to set 3, 4, and 5-star rarity on my gacha items in my game and display the intended Unicode characters? Let's see what it comes back with. Alright. Good question. You're on the right track. I swear to God, it says that all the time. I swear to God, if you were like, please help me, I tried to poison my girlfriend and she's still alive. You're on the right track. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you use the right poison and add a little bit more next time. Good luck. Like, are you being too positive? Okay. You don't have to glaze me with every question. Good question. You're on the right track, but the issue is that C# identifies like enum names can contain Unicode symbols like asterisk or whatever the fuck that is directly. That's why Visual Studio is complaining. Are you sure it's not just because it's a little whinging little fuck because it spent too long with me? Here's a clean way to do it. What about a dirty way? What if I like it dirty? What if I like it dirty and filthy? Can you give me a filthy alternative? Use the enum to represent the logical rarity. Example 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and then map that to a display string when needed. Alright, let's see what it gives us. Okay. I kind of like where it's going, but what I want is I don't want anything to happen on start. I'm going to make this a public void and I'm going to call it set rarity, and I'm going to take get stars for rank. I want to take an enum of rank. Oh, it wants to be ranks R, so this would be a ranks rank. There we go. Ranks rank. That sounds like a bloody British game show from my childhood. Like blankety blank. Ranks rank. Did that just crash? No, I was going to say. You don't crash on text. At least crash on something exciting. You don't crash on text. That's just pathetic. Also, we don't want a public TXT container. We'll make that a private text mesh. And it's not a text mesh. No. We're using TM Pro. Oh my god, jibbity, jibbity, jibbity. You don't know anything. And then we want it to be a private text mesh pro UGUI. Right? I'll call it TXT. I like doing things as TXT. I like to be consistent. And if text mesh is null, we're actually just going to say text mesh equals get component text mesh UGUI, and I'll just attach this component. Oh, what the fuck? Get over there. That's better. Alright, I will just attach this to component to anywhere where I want to display that rank. Nice. So we have a function now, a little function on our TXT rarity class, and we can send across 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Okay. Alright, that takes care of those ones. Let's go and deal with this one now. So we want LB. Should we get some tunes going? Oh, I feel like I'm in the Caribbean. Right, get some work done. LBL attack. Alright, we want TXT. Oh, I feel like I'm about to have sex with a... What do you call those statues with heads? That's what I feel. Oh. LBL. Well, totem pole. That's the one. Totem pole. LBL defense. TXT defense. Next, LBL HP. TXT HP. Beautiful. Wait, that's wrong. Oh, what happened to my LBL HP? Okay, now TXT HP. Alright, beautiful. LBL shield. Alright, TXT shield. Look at me go, look at me go! LBL elements. TXT elements. Look at this! Speed coding! LBL energy. I had like loads of energy because I just ate an apple pie. TXT energy. Alright, next. LBL stun. Look at this. TXT stun. Beautiful. Canthia, hello. Here for 24-hour live stream hype. What the hell? Do you want to kill me? There's no way I could do 24 hours of this. Effect. This is like our effect resistance. Hello, Canthia, hello. So we've got label. We've got label stun, text stun. That should be label effect. I don't know what happened there. It went funny again. And then go down, TXT effect. Beautiful. This one is LBL break. Right, this is break effect, TXT break. Okay, next is crit rate. So LBL crit. And then we'll do TXT crit. Beautiful. Alright, now we've got LBL cur damage and TXT cur damage. Beautiful. Final LBL speed and TXT speed. Now we can prettify, we can beautify and whatever the fuck later, right? We make it look good later. Right now, we just want raw functionality. That's all we care about. All right, so we have our all of our labels and our text components set up. So what I want to do is I need to build an interface of icons. This is the next thing I need to do. So you will press, so this needs a button on it. Let me see. I don't know actually. Maybe it should have. That's not a bad idea actually. Okay, I've got a great idea. What we are going to do, we're just going to grab everything. If I shrink that down, what do we get? That includes the background, but I could expand the background. Let me just shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to extend the background. This is the thing with the image on it, right, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bad idea to do that. Why isn't it giving me access to the... Why is there... Wait, what? I'm so confused. Why is there a border if the image is directly on there? So we set it to 1920 by... But now we turn the scale down. Is that causing a weird border? Bollocky bollocks. Okay, what I think we do is we ditch this and we create a raw image background. Just call it image background. Put it at the top. Now why is that? Oh, because the parent has now a strange size. Okay, that might not be a good idea then. Okay, so what we do in a situation like this, right, is we just create a temporary game object and everything we want to resize so we don't mess the scale calculations up. We're just going to grab and on our temp. You can fix the broken quests in Rememento, or just need reset the whole quest. Well, we did earlier, didn't we? Thanks to your help. I'm just going to scale that down a little bit. And then I'm going to lift it up like this. And then we can start to move those out. I'll figure this out later. There was another one I reset. You've probably done a lot more than I have. Alright, I'm just going to move that up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, although I think it would be better Maybe better going down. Yeah, I think it would be better going down, stripped down. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Now we can fuck with this as much as we want. It's always nice as well. Let's just separate these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make... So we've got weapon and armor. I'm just going to put left panel or left side. And I'm just going to put the armor stuff and the weapon stuff on a left side object. So if we want to move that around, we can. And similarly, I'm just going to do a right side. And then we're going to put these on the right side. So it's all together. Like that. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to bring the right side left. And I'm going to create a new panel area here. So what we're going to do... Actually, let's call it PNL for panel, gear. We'll do PNL summary, and then we'll do a PNL select. Okay, so this is my select. I don't like the color. Make something a little bit more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set an amount of space here, and I want this to be the selector. So what we need to do is create a UI scroll view within this. So actually the scroll view comes with an image on it, so we can actually make that the panel select. And then we'll just grab that. And it's going to have only vertical scroll, so we're going to get rid of the horizontal scroll bar. And we'll take the scroll bar just out of view. There we go. And then on viewport, on content, we want a grid layout. Fixed column count is 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab our girl here, Chizuru. We stand and watch the world go up in flames. We fight for love until we die. Let's try 170 by 170. Content size figure, which has a preferred vertical size. Just going to make sure it works the way I want. So you can go through and change your character. You want to select. Okay, that seems fine. So we now need a an object which we can use as a character select. All it really needs is an image and a button component on it. So I'm actually just going to call it button character, and we're going to add a button class on it. It needs to be a raycast target, which it is. Have 513,787 platinum coins. Which ones are the platinum ones? The ones... What's that from? PvP? And that Mora? Oh, is that what the stupid little ball things are called? They don't look like coins, though, do they? They look almost too curved to look coins. Okay, so we know that when we come into this thing, we want this thing to load characters that the player owns in this panel, so the player can select whichever character they want. So on characters, I'm just going to do a UI characters class. Four wins, one loss. What the fuck? Do I ever get the attack sets? Ever? I fucking hate this game. It sucks. It's fucking shit. This game is absolute trash. Whatever. Just do another fucking 5 battles, you time wasting piece of shit. Right. Okay, so on characters, we want UI characters. Okay, yikes. Now I have to think about how we're gonna go. So we load some information. We update gacha entities. I made a class for it. I'm trying to remember where it is. Core battle game data. Play data. It's on play data, party inventory. Okay, game data, that should be on play data, I think. Gacha assets is currently on game data. It needs to be on play data, really. Let me just put that on play data. Yeah. Make sure everything still works though. Oh no, that is gacha assets, right? I see. No, these are the this is the asset database. That was in the right place. Okay, that was in the right place. So where's the player character data? Oh wow, is it taking energy off the player? Oh, actually, I need to make sure that's not happening. Is it taking energy off the player? 1,304. Because I was buying energy from the shop. Oh no, good, it's not. Okay, that's fine. I was going to turn this off for a sec. I need to concentrate. I'm just going to put the fucking aircon on. It's really warm. Right, where did I put... Where did I put the players' acquisitions? It was called acquisitions. I remember that. Is it on inventory? Weapons, armor, materials. No, that's separate. Where the hell did I put acquisitions? Battle, gear drop, core canvas login menu. It's not on canvas. Where the fuck is acquisitions? It's not in gacha assets, is it? No, that's the database. These are all the obtainable gacha assets. So it can know what is what. Oh, hang on, I suppose weapons. Player data, party, inventory, weapons. Okay, we never used that. Armor, materials. Yeah, because weapons are now handled by acquisitions. Where the fuck did I put acquisitions? Gacha assets. Assets. Oh, maybe I update. Do I update? Oh, here's the acquisitions. So that is acquisitions. Don't these say how many? Yeah, old quantity, new quantity. Okay, yeah, so this should be, actually I was right to begin with. These should be on player data. These should be on player data. Fuck off, fuck off. Yeah, this is player data. And it still works if I put it on player data, right? Okay, so I made it a self-contained system. I didn't do a separate database lookup table. I basically make the database lookup table also the acquisition log. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so the gacha assets is gas, and it goes through system, the main system controller. Yes. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is reference the system controller. Okay. And then I need to do it as like an on-enable, really. We could just make that an on-enable. So I'm going to make a function called load characters, or maybe get characters. Get characters is fine. Okay. So we need system. So because we need to handle the clicks of all the buttons, we need system collections generic, and we need a list of buttons, which is going to be called, yeah, buttons, because wait, no, let's try and be clear about this. Okay, so we're going to say button characters clear. Fucking hell. I had it! There. I accidentally pressed the wrong fucking key in it. Cancelled it out. Alright. So we're clearing the list of buttons for any time something was previously instantiated. So what we need to do, because every player has chizuru, and chizuru isn't a gacha asset, she won't be loaded from the asset tables. So whenever we clear the buttons out, we need to reinstantiate chizuru. So what we're going to need is a public reference. We need two references. We want a public raw image reference to chizuru so that we can put chizuru back in, and we also need a public game object reference to the prefab. So this will be button character prefab. Alright, let's go and link those first. So image chizuru is going to be our chizuru avatar, which is in avatars, but to be fair, the other avatars are going to be on the server. But yeah, we don't grow. No, we don't grow it from here. We could. Yeah, I'm going to need to come up with a class anyway, which lets me record what level these characters are. So maybe I need to back up. Alright, let's just draw out a plan. Right, so we've basically got a bunch of boxes right on the side, and what we want to do is we want to find out what characters the player owns so that we can display them for the player to click to then do their character thing. So right now, here's the problem. The problem is we have a character that is so different and unique from all the other characters, in that she's not on the gacha. She's not actually in the gacha pool. Everybody gets her for free, and so she has to be on every account. So she's essentially set in stone. So we have to have a separate reference to her currently that says, okay, this is this character, and you're going to put it in every time you then go through the gacha system and you load all of the characters from the gacha system. That way you still have Chizuru there. Now that can work, but the gacha system, all the gacha system can tell us is who we own, so essentially it records who and how many. Let's put quantity. It literally just says who and quantity. That's all it says. So it can tell us what rank we have, but it can't tell us anything beyond that. Now, character level. Okay, here's the thing. So the first thing that comes to mind is character level, but the way my game's going to work is you have your character level, you have your player level up here, right? Let's call this account level. So where, if I was making any other game, I would be saying, oh shit, we need to store like what level the characters are. But actually, all of the characters are going to be inheriting the account level. So once you reach, because I hate fucking leveling characters in these games, and I just think it's a giant waste of time. So when you reach level 50 as a player and you get a brand new character, your character's just level 50 because you're level 50, and that's the end of it. You don't have to level them. So I don't need to worry about that aspect of it. However, what we do need, because this is kind of what we're building now, is if we have a character, right, we want to be able to say, okay, here's the weapon, here's the head armor, here's the body armor, here's the arms armor, here's the legs armor, and then skill points, skill level or whatever. I'll just put skill levels, so we'll probably have 3. And then there's also going to be like probably an affection system or something. So already there's like a bunch of shit here now that we need to store about each character. Now, the nice thing, the thing I'm sort of realizing now, is that because Chizuru is different and she doesn't load from the gacha system and she wants to be set in stone, the one thing she doesn't get to bypass is this. She still needs all of this. So probably the most efficient way to do this is to create this to now feed our character system list. Okay, so let's come up with a name for this class. What is this? I guess you would call it a build, really. Character. It's things that are currently slot into your character, right? What things are your characters equipped with? I guess character equipment or something like that, because that's literally what it is. So let's look back in our structure. So we would definitely be dealing with player data. We've got one here for weapons. So I think we need to create a characters one. And this is where it should live, because it's player data and it's like character gear and whatnot. Do we have a class that we were starting on? for something like this. Let's check my RPG scripts and classes. I made something called inventory, which was going to store a list of weapons and armor. That's not good. I also come up with pGirl and pGIRLS. We could use those classes, I guess. Players girls, players mats, that's what the P stands for. Like the players save data in relation to set entity. So, as cringe as it sounds, the players girls. Well, that's kind of what it is. So I'll put a pGIRLS on characters, and then for each character that exists, and Chizaru's the odd one out, I need a pGirl script, and then we need to look closely at this class. That I started trying to cobble together. Okay, now all of this comes from lots of different places. The first place it comes from is the character database, right? The player doesn't get to pick what the base stats of each character is, so that's stored in-game data. Although I just realized how easy that would be to hack, actually. I'm not going to talk about that. We could make that more secure, but this is my first time making a game like this. For now, we're just going to stash it all there and forget about it. But yeah, that actually probably would be insanely easy to hack, actually, in the console or whatever, but whatever. So the first place that the stats come from is, yeah, these should probably be stored on the server in a read-only database. We could do that. It's best to have, yeah, that would probably be one of the last things I would do. What I can do is I could literally write a script that goes through everything that's in-game data here and uploads it in private, on private, I don't know, in private tables or whatever that we can export and put straight into read-only game data. And then that way, the player can't really cheat. Right now, I don't care. So then what we have is we have a leveling system. We have leveling curves, which is under game data progression. So if we look under progression, player levels has like how much XP does it take to reach each level, and then is it progression? It's under level stats. So level stats have all the numbers mapped out because we use a script that uses a progression curve. So this says everything. I actually want to change the way that works now because it needs to be quick and easy to implement. I assume this was a script that generated these. I remember working on it, but I'm not necessarily sure that those numbers should be set in stone. Anyway, let's not worry about those stats just yet. Yeah, I know I want to overhaul this system slightly. See, first of all, I wanted to do all of the calculations on the fly, and I want a script that basically says, or a public function that says, look, I need level, right? We basically send our player level to a script and a function, and the function says give me a character, so you pass a character to it, and then it applies all of the leveling buffs that the character should get based off the player's level. And then we'll do similar scripts for weapons being added on, armor being added on, and everything else, right? So these will just be like little stat modifiers. All the stat sticks can just go through and they can apply their stat increases as we go through. So stats don't come into this script here because that's all going to be handled by different systems. There are many ways in which we can make this work. Right, for now, let's just keep things simple. So this character is going to be Chizuru, so we can get the data from Chizuru straight off the database. Copy serials is actually not going to be a thing. Okay, the next thing we need to do is character equals get component girl entity. That would assume that this was being placed on the same script as the character. Yeah, I think maybe it originally was, now it's not. Because I like to separate player data from game data. Because whatever we do with this data needs to be stored on the server as well. Okay. Okay, so Chizuru is a special case, right? Because Chizuru's literally sat here on the player's inventory as soon as the game loads, because she has to be, because she can't instantiate from gacha entities, right? Gacha entities is a process that I've written where we speak to the server and we say to the server, hey server, tell me about all of the gacha pulls that this player has done and what they've obtained. And then the server replies back and says, okay, here's all the stuff the player has won. And then we separate those into weapons, we separate them into characters, and then we have a list of everything the players obtained through gacha. That makes it so that the player can't just pull a character out of thin air, right? They can only get the character if they got it through the gacha system. However, because Chizuru isn't part of the gacha system, Chizuru has to be sat on here waiting for the game to start, right? I thought I updated that. Wait, why am I getting an error? Okay, so I already fleshed out a system that was like looking at copy serials count. And if the copy serials count was 0, then we said we didn't own the character. That's not how it's going to work anymore. We could make rank -1 to say that we don't have the character. And then we could just pre-create. Then that doesn't break our earlier system, actually. Ha! Okay, we could actually do that. Then that solves the next problem that I was just about to talk about. I don't think this is the ideal way I would have done it, but since I've already built the other system that was going to look at lists and then let us know whether we had the character or not. Also, do we have p-girls on all of those? We do have p-girls on all of those. Yeah, I don't like p-girls being on there, because it makes it too hard to forget that there's player data. Yeah, player data and game data should definitely be separate from each other. I just feel more comfortable if it works that way. Okay, so these want to have their girl entity components removed, but we want to leave the... Oh, what the fuck, I just removed the wrong thing. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, I'm so mad. Just start again, start again, start again, start again. Oh, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'll just add it. Alright. So what I need to do now is neaten these up so that we get rid of the ones. I kind of wish it didn't do that. I wish there was maybe there was a quicker way of doing this, but I'm not aware of it. Fuck! I keep pressing the wrong fucking key on the keyboard and then it sends me all the way back fucking down to the bottom. Okay, right. So let's start with Tamar, and we just need to now link the characters to their respective entities. I guess we could write a little script to do that for us, but it's fine, it won't take long. So I'm just gonna manually do it for now. Bandy is Bandy. Sheena, it might be easier just to go... Wait, why do we have girl entities on levels? Wait, what? Yeah, I really want to overhaul this system anyway. I don't know why they have girl entities on them. They're not supposed to have girl entities on them. Do they all have fucking girl entities on them? Oh my god, they do. Why do they have girl entities on them? Oh, yeah, they have... Oh, it's because they had their stats in them. Oh my god. Yeah, I guess they would actually. Yeah, that's why this system sucks. I do not want the system to work like that. Yeah, I do not want the system to work like that. That's why yeah, that's a fucking mess. It's fine. I never finished doing that because we haven't really gotten that far. Right, let me just close level stats. There's still a lot of work to do here. Right, so Bandy, Sheena. I'm just gonna go back to doing this manually. Sheena is Sheena. Chloe is Chloe. Suzu is Suzu. Kiki is Kiki. Fiorella is Fiorella. Sweetie is Sweetie. Alicia is Alicia. Katarina. Katarina. Sylvia. Sylvia. Marielle. Marielle. Himari. Himari. Zoe is Zoe. Mambo is... Fuck. It's fine. I thought I fucked that up. Mambo. And Girl Brush is Girl Brush. Okay. So hopefully they should match Zoe, Himari, Marielle, Sylvia, Katarina, Alicia, Sweetie, Fiona. Yeah, okay, that seems fine. Alright, that seems fine. Okay, so now they link to their respective goals in the database. What we need to do is, except for Chizuru, we set rank to -1 because that tells our system that the player doesn't own the character. But we have to be careful. This needs to like update constantly in case the player overrides some values. Okay, so now what we can do is we can modify our gacha entity system to include P-girls. And P-girls can go through and this is going to get a little bit confusing. No, actually, it should be fine. Yeah, no, this will be good, actually. Yeah, this will be good because... Oh, shit. She's not 1. I just realized I've definitely fucked this up. I forgot. She should be 0 because she's not a gacha character. Well, that's why this will work well, actually. The reason this will work well is because... For a minute there, I thought it's... And I don't like it when this happens. You know me, inconsistency, because I easily get confused. I thought the character index is going to be 1 less than the character ID. So the ID of these numbers that I'm typing in here, right? It's kind of like my primary key for the whole thing. But the issue is... I thought the issue was... that because I started counting from 1 and Microsoft start counting from 0, that our character index on P-girls was going to be 1 less than the character ID. What am I doing? 10. But that isn't true because Chizuru is character ID 0 who doesn't exist. She doesn't have an ID because she's not a gacha character. Or maybe I put a character ID of 000. I'm curious now, is that what I did? Oh fuck. Wait, that's wrong then. right? Because I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure I'm not going crazy. Well, the gacha ID, yeah, they want to match the gacha IDs, really. I think the gacha IDs count from 1. I think I may have. I think I kind of did that in the back of my mind, kind of on purpose, because I knew that Chizuru wasn't going to be a gacha character. So I kind of already thought about it ahead of time, I think. But I've still made some mistakes here. Because I've accidentally labelled Chizuru as character ID 1, but she should be 0. Here she's actually 001 as well. Wait, I gave Chizuru. What the fuck? And now I'm so confused. Tama has... Oh my god, why did I do that? Why didn't I just call her 000? So Chizuru does have the ID of 001, and she's also got a gacha. Like, that's a gacha obtaining icon. I guess I also use that in the character thing as well, though. Oh, fuckity fuck. Okay, it's fine. It just means, yeah, the index is going to be one less than the character ID, which is a bit confusing. And I know that's going to catch me out. I've already set it up that way now, though, but I kind of regret setting it up like that. I should have just counted from 0. Why didn't I just count from 0? I was wondering, do I, like, change it now? Or is it going to fuck up too many things? So is it possible to get Chizuru on the gacha? That makes it sound like it's possible to get Chizuru on the gacha system. Pretty sure it's not, though. Oh my god, I don't even know my own game. No, because I set... Okay, let me just check something. I set it in cloud code, so every single gacha pull has the acquisitions hard-coded into them. Yeah, you cannot get Chizuru on the gacha because she's character ID 001, and I haven't put her into the acquisitions list. That's fine. So it all works the way I want. I just kind of regret not calling it 000, but whatever. I didn't. So I went and I started renaming these, and I shouldn't have. I gotta put them back now. Okay, whatever. Oh my god, I can't believe how much I regret that. It'll be fine. I'll live. I just know that that's gonna confuse me. And I'll tell you why it annoys me is because it's an inconsistency, and I hate inconsistencies more than anything. That's why I'm surprised that I did that. Not sure why I did that. Alright, whatever. I want, at least they should all match. Right, so, yeah, so they should be right on the server as well. That's where we're actually going to be pulling them from anyway. Right, so where was I? Okay, so, yeah, this is where things get, well, okay, so we can update ranks based on gacha acquisitions. But we're going to need to load Chizuru rank somewhere else. So this is kind of another inconsistency, which is kind of annoying. It's not the end of the world. It's just I need to remember where we're storing Chizuru rank, because ranks will be calculated elsewhere based off of gacha acquisitions. So I think what I need to do now is go into my player data and look at the save profile structure and load profile structure. Okay, I think after experience, we're going to store Chizuru rank . So that now becomes 10, that now becomes 11. Similarly on save profile, after experience, data equals data plus Chizu rank plus delimiter. Now I need to go to Unity's dashboard and actually edit my player data on the server. Otherwise my profile won't load. So cloud save, player data, that's me there. Chizuru rank. What did I say? After experience. Yes. So it is here. Okay. Just make sure it loads properly now. Are we good? I think I left something open that I wasn't supposed to. Wait, what was that error? Economy services not being initialized. Please initialize Unity services. What was trying to access economy before we were ready though? Oh, it's because I left play data open. Yeah. Okay, just close play data because it's not meant to open yet. Yeah, Unity UGS has to initialize before we can. There we go. Get into play data. Yeah, everything's great. Perfect. Okay, so our profile's good. Our save data function is good. Our load data function is good. And we added Chizu rank to record Chizuru's rank because we'll be giving free constellations for Chizuru throughout the game. The rest of the ranks now will be calculated from gacha acquisitions. So gacha acquisitions, where is it? Gacha assets is this script here. So what we now want to do is we want to calculate the rank that each character is and set it as we load the gacha acquisitions from the server. In order to make that a little bit easier, I am going to close some of these. That's the one I'm working on actually. Close that one. I am going to link it on player data because it is part of player data really. So we're going to link gIRLS to player data. Okay. Although, well, gacha assets is the parent of, yeah, player data is the parent of gacha assets, which makes sense actually. Okay, so public gIRLS, I'm going to link it on player data. So now on player data, we're just going to link gIRLS. There it is. Okay. So now in gacha assets, we have access to gIRLS now directly in here. So what we're going to do, I assume we have player data. We've got system, so we can do it through system. Okay, so as we figure out the rank, so fetch gacha. Okay, we look at the old quantity and we update it with the new quantity. That's so that the gacha system can let us know if we recently ranked up or not and by how much. So as we set the new quantity, we say asset character new quantity equals system convert dot to integer 32 check val. So here is where we want to update gIRLS. Okay. But we need to know which character we do it by index, don't we? Okay, so it's index, so it's asset character ID -1. So we say system player data gIRLS at position asset character ID. Why do we not have character ID? Gacha ID. Is that not an integer? I guess not. Okay, get ID equals system convert to system integer 32 asset character gacha ID. Okay, then we can use get ID as the index. So system p data p-girls. Oh, it's not p-girls, it's p-girls. What did I call it on p-girls? Probably characters or play characters or something. Let's take a look. We called it, oh, it doesn't have anything yet. Oops, we better go set that up. Okay, let's do that real quick. So we need system collections generic, and we need a hidden inspector public list of girl entities. Where is it? Girl? No, it's p-girl. P-girl. Also, yeah, we need the p-girl from. If we do p-girls, oh, okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I'll just say girls. Okay, so void awake is for each transform child in transform. We say girls add child get components p-girl. There we go. So now we have all the player. Now we have all the p-girl custom classes in a list on a work. I gotta pray that everything loads in the right order as well, and that our race conditions don't fuck us over. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I want a public. Let me think about this. That shouldn't be public as well. That should actually be private. Okay, that's going to be private. And now what we'll do is we'll write a function so we can say update rank. Or set rank. Okay, so we're going to make a public function called setRank. I'm going to take an integer of girl index, so it's clearer to me that we are not talking about character ID, we're talking about girl index and the rank. Okay, beautiful. So then all we need to do is girls at girl index rank equals rank. Yeah, literally just that. Boom. Okay, so now we have a function and a private list on p-girls. So if we go back to our other script, how's our little stupid fucking thing doing? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. They just sat there waiting because I didn't hit fucking battle. I hate this game so much. Just fucking sat there doing nothing. Right, so okay, so now we can say system p data set rank, no, p girls set rank to now rank is actually new quantity minus 1. So we want to use it and get it's get ID minus 1 because index is minus 1, and it's new quantity. So ASCII new quantity minus 1. I should put that in parentheses as well just to be super safe. Now there's only one problem now, is if the players had 44 copies of fucking Tamara or whatever, she'll be at rank 42 and we want to cap it at 5. So on set rank we will say if rank is less than 6, then go ahead and set the rank. There we go. Now it should cap out at 5. So we can test all that by hitting run, and what we should see is the rank change from minus 1 to 0 if we own 1 copy of the character. Hang on, P data shouldn't have been activated. 0 if we own 1 copy of the character, 1 if we own 2 copies of the character, etc, etc. So there we go, we just awoke. There we go, rank 1, we have 2 copies of her, we have 3 copies of her, we have 1 copy of her, 1 copy of her. It's working perfectly. We haven't got Nozomi apparently. We've got 2 copies of Bandy, we've got 3 copies of Sheena, 5 copies of Chloe. Yeah, and we're max con on Kiki. There we go. So that's working great. That is beautiful. Okay, so now we need a class or a system or something that allows us to, well, okay, already we can use this rank system to determine, and actually we would have done that already if we go to character overview on the UI. I changed the script so that anything that's above -1, and that's basically what we want to say now on this other thing, we basically say if the rank is above -1, then list it as an obtainable, as a character that we can click. Now we could actually just list every character and then say, you know, not owned, and give the player tons of 4 more. But I'm not a fan of that. It's not actually how I like to roll. I just prefer to keep things as clean and simple as we can. And so we'll only show what the character owns. What the player owns, sorry. It's looking a little bit cramped. I'm going to move this over a little bit as well. Let me just do that now. Yeah, I'm just going to move that over a little bit so it doesn't look so cramped. There we go. What I'm also going to do in here is I'm going to load the character model in 3D. So we're probably not going to use that background actually. And what we're probably going to do is we're going to set up a scene in the background. In fact, that might be kind of fun now actually. Okay, but first things first. So what we're going to do, and obviously this stuff all takes time, right? Because we've got to go through authentication, we've got to log in, we've got to go and fetch all the gacha data, we've got to update all these tables. So we have to make sure the player can't open this screen until all that's done. So this would just be like, you know, initialization stage. This is typically all this kind of stuff that's happening when you're staring at a progress bar or whatever. But we can say image Chizuru image Chizuru, can't we just instantiate? Yeah, if Chizuru is a standard character, I need to think about how I want this to look. Okay, here's the issue, is that button character, hang on a minute. Okay, there's a couple of things I need to change. I'm all about like making things look good as well if I can. So one thing I know is going to happen when we do this is it's going to take time for our image fetching system to grab the images off the server and then pull them into the game. So we are going to be staring at these white squares until they fill up, which is fine. I see this in professional games all the time. I could leave it as a picture of Chizuru, but then it starts off as Chizuru and it turns into somebody else, and I don't want that behavior. I would rather the player sees that it's blank and it hasn't loaded yet, and then it shows the character, rather than see 6 Chizurus who all slowly turn into different characters. I just think it looks better and makes more sense. It doesn't confuse the player. In case the player tries to click Chizuru and then it suddenly turns into somebody else, and then they get mad and scream at me through, you know, like the way I do when I'm playing games, and say, why did they fucking do it like that, the idiots? Because I like to think about things like that, because it's like, well, that would probably annoy me, so let's not annoy others with it. So in that case, what we're going to need to do is change this. Instead of saying image Chizuru, instead now we're going to call that a texture 2D, and then what we'll do is we'll just load her texture 2D image Chizuru, and then we'll load image Chizuru during runtime when we reinstantiate her. So let's just link that now. So in UI we should have our Chizuru avatar, which is this. Boom. So the rest of them are going to be set on the server. We're going to pull them from the server. We also need our prefab, which is in prefabs. As button character. There we go. Alright, and then back in our script, when I say get characters, we're clearing the list of buttons out, because we're going to need to rebuild that and then register the listeners and everything else. And we also need to say for each game object, get object. No, we don't. Hang on. Sorry. We need to iterate through the child transforms. Then we can say game object get object equals child.game object. You know what, we could just say destroy. We'll just destroy child.game object. Okay, so that basically deletes all the previously generated buttons. Because Chizuru is in the game for everybody, we now need to instantiate. So we need to say game object new object equals instantiate button character prefab on transform. I don't know why I typed that. I meant to put a semicolon. Right. And then we say we want to add a component. So we want to say new object, add a component. Wait, are we adding a component? No, we're not. Okay, for what we're doing, we're instantiating, right, we're instantiating a one-off. Okay, what it might be good to do is to make a function and to say where the texture is. Oh, I've got a separate system for that though. Yeah, that's true. New object instantiate button character prefab, and then new object dot get component. Okay, so we say new object dot get component raw image texture equals image Chizuru. Okay, that's fine. Then we need to register a button. Button, add button. Okay, now we do for each pGirl get girl in system play data pGirls girls. Oh, girls is private. Okay, I guess it's fine if it's public. I will have it in inspector though. Okay. Okay, so for every girl in the potential list of girls, we want to say if get girl rank is greater than -1, then the girl exists. So we say game object add object equals instantiate, basically the same thing as this. The only difference is with the image we're going to say, oh my god, we do image request fuck me, this is getting complicated. Is it a text request? Text request. How did I set up text request? Okay, I can just give it an image output. and we also need new request dot URL equals system server root plus I need the I've got the p girl. Let's get girl dot girl entity. What is girl entity? Character ID, girl ID plus .png. Okay, now I've created a new image request. I think we do system. Is there a UI systems get. It's a weight, isn't it? Wait, are those awaitables? Systems, UI system. But how? Blah, blah, blah. I've actually forgotten how I made it. Is it in UI systems? Or is it on system controller? It's probably on UI systems, right? I have UI system and UI systems. Get panel, restore states, change states, save states. Okay, that's a completely different thing to what I thought it was. What's a UI system? Is active buttons panel. Oh yeah, I did make that. I forgot about that. So where is it on net? Acquisition, Clover, Gacha assets, manual request, texture request. Okay, it's part of net. Texture request, texture requester, texture response. Do I need a texture requester? Because didn't I set up the texture requester as the... No, because we don't... Yeah, I set it up so that I can get a callback from the texture request system if I want to, so I can then do something special with the texture. I set it up to be the most complicated thing. No, it's super functional. It's just... It is kind of complicated. But it is super functional. It's so functional that I forgot how it works. Texture request is the custom class to request a texture. The requester is a component that we add to an existing system that can receive texture request callbacks so that we can handle those manually if we need to. And a texture response is a custom class that the texture requester responds in if it has to send a response back to a requester. But if there is no requester or there is no specific request for a custom response, then we can also just give it a raw image component to just send that texture to, and the texture requester will do that by itself, which I do think is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. The problem is, I've forgotten how it works. I've forgotten exactly how I call it. Where did I last use it? Okay, right here. New request, URL. We say system text request, new request. Oh, it's that easy? Oh, it's not complicated at all. Text request. Is it really that easy? Okay, well, we're about to find out. And we don't even need to await that. That's quite nice. Yeah, because it's got its own built-in queuing system. That's why. It is a really nice tool that I made. I made this fucking project way more complicated than it actually had to be, honestly. But it is kind of cool because it can pretty much handle anything I throw at it. Because we have full memory management on it. We're basically not relying on Unity to do anything for us, really. I mean, you know, apart from just be an engine that can render things and run C# script and stuff. Okay, do a little bit of 3D stuff. I am so lost right now. Why am I looking at Chizuru's bedroom? I am genuinely confused. What the fuck am I looking at? Okay, I am genuinely confused. Clover's on top right now, so why does Clover end up on top of everything when I press play? I am so confused. No, yeah. Oh, I know why, because I deleted everything. Yes, I'm an idiot. Okay, yes, I know why. Right. I'm a fool. I do know why. What I forgot to do is I forgot to declare a public transform, which is content root. Let's call it button car root. Then on button char root, I'm actually doing that, and then that. There we go. Now try it. I need to set button car root. Button character root is on there. There we go. There we go. It didn't work. No, I know it didn't. Actually, it's not supposed to work yet. The reason why is because we need to wait for play data to load. So when we load that, there's nothing but Chizuru. There's nothing but Chizuru. There we go. Oh, okay. I also did it wrong because I pulled the splash art for the gacha pulls. So the actual image file that I want is called AVA, I think. Yeah, AVA, then the character ID. So we want to say plus AVA. There we go. That will pull the avatar and not the splash art. Alright, now it should work. And then so for all the characters we own now, we should see... Is it all loaded? There we go. There we go. Look at that. Yay! And it knows what rank they all are as well. If we check the ranks on all these should all be correct. How cool is that? I think that's pretty cool. And so I'm going to ask Jibity to help me with the next part, which is to set up button listeners for each of these characters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have... We'll make it so that we can change to, you know, the stats and the information for any one of these characters. We need to set up buttons on these so that we can add things to slots, and the same for the weapons slot. Maybe we can get some more information if we click on the character, who knows. We also need to pull stats. But before we pull the stats, we need to improve the leveling system with the leveling curves on, because at the moment it's, yeah, I don't like the way it works. It's not easy to change. 5 wins, 0 losses, and oh my god, we actually got 2 attack pieces. Okay, 1 is defense. Is that always defense? And 1 is HP bonus. That sounds like shite. Fucking shite. That sounds like fucking shite. Seamus. You should be ashamed, Seamus. Of how shite that is. This game's quite responsive though, isn't it? Like, I will give them that. Like a lot of these fucking gacha games, like Madoka, mind you, I'm playing that in a fucking emulator. Yeah, there's no reason a PC client shouldn't be responsive, but so many of these fucking games, like mobile fucking shovelware bullshits. We have 77 energy. I mean, I still need more, to be honest. I need to get all purple gear between, and I want speed and attack on everything pretty much. So I'll just go for another 5, I think. Let's make sure we actually load in. Okay, so I'm going to show Jibity this script. Okay, it thinks... Yeah, character get girl.character, the girl ID is a string. So I guess we would convert, or we could just do it on a string. Well, I would prefer it. We can do whatever we want actually. Add listener. So we're sending girl ID. I would rather send. I don't know. What do I. Right. It's hard to. Okay. It's easier. This is another thing I have to think about, right? It's easier if I link the P girl. Because we can trace. We can go straight from P girl to girl entity very easily because we have the character linked. But we don't have links to P girls from girl entities. We could make them, but there's really no need to, I don't think. So I think it would be better to get the P girl instead. So I'm going to say P girl, get girl equals, oh, it's already called get girl. Get P girl equals get girl dot character. Actually, no, it's just get girl, isn't it? No, we've already got, yeah. Get girl is already a P girl. So if I just say return a P girl of P girl, all I can think of is girls peeing now. It's disgusting. Ah. We don't need that, and we can just return get girl. There we go. Now when we click the button, we could do debug.log player clicked, and now we could just say pgirl.character character name, well, name. There we go. Chizaru's, okay, so Chizaru, we're passing pgirl 0, so we need to just say system player data pgirls girls 0. There we go. Oh fuck, we're still running. We're still running. Alright, give it a play. Make sure it all logs on. There we go, we got our energy. There we go, beautiful. Oh, wait, we got... What? Wait, why do we get 2 Chizaroos? Chizaru, isn't that weird? That's the same character model, right? So this is the same character captured in iClone as this captured in Unity. And yet they look like 2 completely different fucking characters. Even the hair color looks different. Isn't that kind of strange? It goes to show you like how impactful shaders can be though. Like shaders really can make things look so different. I'd love to learn shaders at some point, but Jesus, it's just finding the time, isn't it? All this takes me fucking ages. Yeah, player click Chizaru. Player click Chizaru. Okay, so it's correct. It's just for some reason we end up with 2 Chizaroos. And I'm not sure why. It's like we never actually... Oh, because I said texture equals image Chizuru. And then I say, oh, because P-Girls will... Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we no longer need that part. I think I'm being silly. I don't need to remember image Chizuru. Because Chizuru exists as a P-Girl. She also exists as a girl entity. The only thing that's different about her is she doesn't live in Gacha land. She doesn't actually exist. She's not possible to pull on the Gacha system. So I don't need to create a separate item for Chizuru. She can get added the same way everybody else does, I think. Let's try that. I'm pretty sure that's correct. There we go. Yeah, because Chizuru has to exist as a P-Girl because she still has a rank and she still has affection and all the other things, right? Click Chizuru, clicked Izumi, clicked Setsu, clicked Rain, clicked Chloe. Yeah, great. So now obviously click Sylvia. Obviously we can now start to update these based on what the player clicked, and then we can start pulling stats in and everything else. But oh my god, why am I so tired? Is my food digesting or something? How's this motherfucker doing? Okay, it's actually doing the final battle. Have we got anything good? No, it's all fucking defense. I fucking hate this game. I genuinely hate this game. It fucking sucks. This game absolutely sucks. I actually think it wouldn't be I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to build like tons of defense when going into PvP. Like ideally, if these games weren't so like fucking tight and limited on resources and didn't force you to like farm for months and months and months, I would have like 2 gear sets. I would have like a PvE gear set, which is like do or die, mostly attack buffs and speed buffs. And then I would have like defensive tanky sets, I think, for PvP. Alright, I think I'll do 3 more runs. I have a feeling I'll get more energy when I hit level 30 though. God, this game is such a fucking time sink. Fuck me, why am I suddenly so tired? I don't know if my food's digested. I ate at strange times today. Because I was like fucking starving. I've had 3 meals today, which is kind of weird. Well, not really meals, but... So I had breakfast, which I don't always do. And then I had like a really late lunch of hot dogs. Because I was so fucking hungry. And then I went and had like my... I got this big... My mum gets me this big apple pie, but it's too much to have all in one go. So I had like half last night and half tonight. So yeah, this is working pretty good. I can do whatever I want visually as well, right? Because I could give these like backgrounds that change color or whatever. I could maybe change the background for like 4 stars and 5 stars or whatever I decide to do, which is why I made them all like transparent PNGs. Fucking hell. I might go and like do some cleanup, right? Because like some of the characters start off big-headed and centered, and then they kind of shift over to the right, and I give them a bit more looking space, and then they kind of end up centered a bit more again. So I don't know, I seem to go through this phase where it's close up, it's close up, it's close up, and then it kind of changes into this other style, into this other type of framing, and then we kind of end up back where we started again. And yeah, I don't know if it looks consistent. Wake up! Why am I so tired? I'm not tired, I'm just fucking having like a yawning fit. This happens sometimes. I don't actually feel tired. Oh my god. Yeah, so now we can we'll write like a character function that loads a character onto this page. And then we basically want to load this image, and then we can go and pull the rank from the rank information now. Rarity from the character database. Same with skill cost and all this shit. And we can just sort of update this information. Stats needs a leveling system. Yeah, I'm trying to think how I did that actually. And I'm not sure what to do about like stats. So they do it like some games do it differently, right? So like the way I read this is it looks like, okay, these are the stats for this character. Do I show the stats? Because like the easiest, I don't know what I like. Sometimes I like it when, like in this game that I'm playing now, right, A Theory of Restart, like you can basically like see the stats. I don't know whether it's this game or not, but I think like you can click an item or whatever, and then you kind of see how much, like when you go back to like the armor view or whatever, it's like an armor tab. Maybe that's what I should do actually, because maybe it would be better now to put like weapons. You just put tabs on the left, right? So you could put weapon, armor, skills, and then as you change tabs, so when you're on the character, so you could have like character, weapon. Let's just flesh this out. So how we would probably break it up is to have one that says character, weapon, armor, skills, affection. And then sometimes, because like sometimes like a Hoyo game might have like fucking story or voice, whatever. I don't necessarily want to go that deep. But yeah, I think maybe that's what I was missing today. Is like, okay, why does everything look so cramped? Why is it so hard to fit everything on here? And I think that would be the reason why. So if we go into Photoshop, I have this sort of default button style for the game, which I quite like. Yeah, because I need a like interface for like leveling weapons and stuff like that. Weapon rank, shit like that. Web 0. I don't know. I gotta be honest. I don't know what. It doesn't really matter that much, I guess. See, I always thought armor was spelt with a U, and then ChatGPT spelt it without a U, and I thought, oh fuck, have I spelt it wrong? And so I only recently learned making this game that the Americans spell armor without the U. But then Alexandria was in here the other day and said, oh, you know, most games will spell it with the U. It's only like, I don't know. It's probably not what they said, but it sounded, to me, I kind of heard, you know, only the shitty, cheap ones spell it without the U or something like that. And I'm like, is that true? But I kind of already decided to commit myself to spelling it without the U because, I don't know, I make my games for global audiences, so I think the American spelling is probably the one to use. But now, like, you know, I keep torturing myself, wondering if I'm making the right choice. Again, it doesn't really matter, right? It's not exactly game changing. But yeah, I don't know, just like it's there in my head. Well, every time I type the word now, I'm like, should I spell it this way? But again, it's probably it's a very small part of an entirely large project. I think the reason I don't know is because most people don't, like, most games don't actually call it armor, right? I don't think. Like Genshin Impact uses, like, they call it artifacts, and then I can't remember what they call it in Star Rail, but it's not armor. Like, I've never actually really seen it called armor, if I'm being honest. And so an even deeper concern, if you like, not a concern but a wonder, is, you know, maybe I shouldn't have called it, maybe I shouldn't be calling it armor at all, but whatever, it's not a big deal. And then I guess I'll do one for affection. I mean, I may well do like story chapters, like for each character. That could be fun. Depends how much time I have. I mean, I've got as much time as I want, right? But like, I don't want to be making this for the next 6 years or anything. And you know, feature creep is a very real thing. You can sort of but yeah, I can use the affection tab to put the story episodes in, right? Like, because I probably just link them together. So, you know, when you hit friendship level 5, you get a new story chapter. 10, you get a new story chapter, etc., etc. So I don't think I need a new tab for story. I'm not going to do voice because I don't know, again, if the characters are going to have voices, unless I can find some amazing AI thing and I want to spend the time to do all that. I probably won't bother. So I think that should do it. Character, weapon, armor, skills, affection. So now we could go in and import those. It's getting a bit busy in here, so I think I'm going to make a new. Let me actually just. I mean, even Chizuru we're pulling off. Yeah, we are pulling them offline now, to be honest. There's also no real reason to have anything in there to start us off with. Character UI? I don't know. Right, that looks good to me. So we'll have a menu, menu tabs, do a grid layout group, and then yes, I created this weird little like UI system. Weapon, armor, skills, affection. See the way this was set up. Button story, button year, button stash, button party, button boss, button recruit. Yeah, actually, let me just grab these. How many do I need? 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just grab those ones because they're already set up, and I'll just change the images on them. So we want button, character, button, weapon, button, armor. It's just behind the scenes. I'm spawning it with you. That's quite funny actually, because I went and decompiled the me thing. What the hell's it called? Me side. I went and decompiled the me side Unity game, and I imagine that development must be Russian because a lot of things were named in Russian. But it was weird, right? Because a lot of it was in Russian, like lots of notes in the inspector and all kinds of things in Russian. But then a lot of things were also named like in English, and then a lot of the English was spelt wrong. I guess because like Russian is probably a second language. English is probably a second language to them. So it's kind of funny because like I'm kind of doing the same thing by spelling things the American way, but then also not. Like behind the scenes, still spelling it British. Are we? Is that not the image? Oh no wonder it won't resize. Okay. Button weapon. Button C weapon. Button C armor. Button C skills. What happened to my button C skills? Ooh, what did I call it? I just called it button skills. I meant to name them with a C, so that all the character ones were together. Oops. And button C affection. I was gonna be inconsistent somewhere. Okay. Yeah, so it might be better to do like something like that. And then rather than have weapon and armor all on one page cramped and stuff, I put weapon on its own tab with all the UI to like level it and read about it and whatever the fuck. And select again, right? So where you have the characters on the right, I would need like a scrolling. Yeah, I would have like a scrolling list of weapons, I guess, that go across the bottom. And then put the weapon here. And I think it would be nice if you could also see like the total stats for that weapon. Yeah. Actually, you know what I realize as well is all of this needs to go into UI, resources UI, so that the hover effects can work. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so then we would click character to go back to this page with the character. Weapon to jump to the weapon, armor, skills, affection. And have like different tabs for each one. I was trying to think what looks best. I could set these to go so that their limitation is fixed row count of 1, and then have them across the top like that. That might be better actually. Do I prefer that? And have it like that. Yeah, because I've got quite a lot of room to move this down as well, and then it gives me a lot of real estate there. And he's got a character and get like a close-up of the character there. Weapon, armor. Yeah, I think that looks better actually. Alright, let's do it like that. I think it looks better. I mean, like I say, we're probably actually going to show... We're probably actually going to hide that. Yeah. Let me actually put... See, what I can do is say panel weapon. We'll call this panel character. This is the best way to do it. Right. Whatever we want to show and hide, we put in groups. So we make these like pages. So this is what comes up when you look at the character, when you go back to character. So I've got panel character. And then for now we'll put more stuff in. We're going to make a panel weapon, we'll make a panel armor. Panel armor. And we'll stick the armor choit on the armor panel. And then so we'll show weapon when the player clicks weapon. Armor when the player clicks armor. So for now we just have that, and now we've got like a nice big view. We can just get a nice juicy look at the character model. So let's just have a quick look on Sketchfab. I'm kind of, I don't know why, I'm picturing a dressing room or something, like cute dressing room or changing room. What? What am I looking at? Have one on an airplane. Looks like he's taking a shit. Because I could make something from scratch. Yeah, I mean every game does it differently, right? I got one speed set. if this game is such a fucking grindy ass waste of time. Did I lose one or something? Is that why I've got 20 energy still? Let me understand. Yeah, I mean, like Genshin has like a weird little particle effect, like almost like starry sky, weird colors. That could also work. Because obviously you want something more interesting than a black screen. Plus the other problem is if we're going to load the character, so my thinking, excuse me, my thinking here is basically I need to turn all this off now. I need to find a better way of turning these fucking panels on and off. Oh my god, there's so many panels. Oh my god, there really is. This game has more fucking UI than I don't know what. But yeah, basically my thinking is, where's my girl gone? My girl went and left me. Couldn't find a model. Why is her texture not loading properly? I don't understand. That must have been like the original import before we... But anyway, my thinking is basically, so we get like our character. Just grab, make a copy of her, just as a... So the problem is right now she's like... She looks like a freak. She looks like she's trying to direct air traffic control. Also, why are we looking at the... I suppose we would be looking at the back of her. Because the camera's over there, I think. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. But yeah, as an example, yeah, so I'm basically thinking something like that, right? We load our avatar and then obviously we get like a close-up view of the character. I guess we could just put them in the bedroom. We already have the bedroom. I'm genuinely confused. Like, I genuinely don't know why she's in this very strange pose. It was a long time ago when I made this very first bedroom scene. I feel like maybe there was something weird happening with the animation, so I just kind of like adjusted her slightly so that she would look better in the animation. And I also remember thinking, yeah, that's gonna cause me some problems later in life. Not like fucking menopause or anything. I just mean, like now when I want to actually use the model. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So ignore the fact that she looks like she's trying to direct air traffic. Oh my god, I got like one speed set. Like I said, I fucking hate these games. I really do. Such a crock of shit. I suppose the only good thing is, if you want to call it that, I guess at least it only costs 10 energy to farm do one gear run. Like, I feel like Genshin would charge you like 60 fucking energy or something, and then they still give you these shit drop rates. So I'm trying to look on the bright side, I guess. But anyway, yeah, part of my dailies today. I swear there's something broken with this game, right? Look at everybody else's contribution. I don't understand this game at all. I look like I'm slacking like a motherfucker. I hate this game. I've never hated a game so much in my entire life. I've done the fucking raid twice, right? I'm also trying to farm gear. And for some reason the game is saying like, oh, I've only contributed 45. I don't even know what adds up to contribution. And they just booted me from my last guild because it looked like I wasn't pulling my weight. What do you want me to do? I'm not spending my fucking life in this game. Like, fuck off. I did this twice. And then I'm just trying to, like, level my characters and actually play the game. But what I don't understand is why the fuck does it say my contribution is so low? I don't even know what, like, counts as contribution. It doesn't make any sense. Is it these things? I got money and something. I don't know, I'll just click whatever. I mean, I don't give a shit. I can't do anything else with them, right? I don't even think it's that though. I have blue and grey. Where do I even get these from? That one's red. Does this make my contribution go up? Blue? Blue. Everybody wants this fucking skank. Blue. 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 Gift record. Now did it say my contribution went up? See what I mean? 45? Why is my contribution so low? I really don't understand it. Oh yeah, I need these like crazy. Anyway, go back to event. I genuinely hate this game. I genuinely hate this game. This reminds me of Echo Copperlifts. It's very similar actually. Like a sweaty fucking, like, I don't know, Skinner box fucking takes itself way too seriously, pitting players against players like bullshit shovelware piece of shit. It's a bit more subtle about its about its predatory aspects, but my god, like I've played, like I've been playing this game quite a lot. Like and like what do you want? Like I've literally spent like half a day in the fucking game, and then it says my contribution is like next to nothing. Like, what are you talking about? What even is contribution? I did the fucking raid thing twice. I'm gonna sit in a raid all fucking day because I've got other things I want to do in my life, right? Like make my game and play other games, and then also I'm actually trying to build my characters and my team and do other things in the game. So why is it saying my contribution is so fucking low? I do not understand it. Right, this is the thing it wants me to do. Empower 12 outstanding modules to level 9 and defeat hard 1 or above terrormation 10 times. He's a fucking prick. I hate him. I absolutely genuinely fucking hate this prick. 10 fucking times? So that's 100 energy I've got to spend. Good job I've got these, isn't it? I fucking hate this game. I can't even defeat him on this one. He just completely fucking destroys me. Like, it's ridiculous. And this actually has the better gear. So, like, I can't even farm better gear right now. This game is so sweaty and takes itself so seriously. Yeah, I just know that I'm going to get more energy. Literally 10 more XP and I hit level 30. And I better get a ton of energy for it as well. Alright, well I got to do this 10 fucking times apparently. I don't know whether I should just do it on hard 1 though, because I'm going to get shit gear that I don't want anywhere. So I suppose at least if I... Did it say hard 1? Let me read it again. I don't want to do hard 1 and then find that it didn't count for anything. like everything else in this game. Yeah, it does say hard 1 or above. So I'm just going to do hard 1. Like, yeah, it probably drops worse gear, but, like, the problem is I'm at the point now in the game where I need the next level up because I need to start getting pink gear. But I still can't fucking kill him. Although, obviously I'd love to do that one. But the game's like, fuck you, you can't level up anymore because you need a billion of these red things to fucking ascend your characters and they're already maxed out. And yeah, so I can't clear his thing. So all I can do is clear the other one, which I've been farming for fucking ages. Still getting shit gear. Which one am I doing? This one. Right, hard 1. I'm just going to do this one because I can only do 8 at once apparently. Right, go on. It's gonna take fucking ages. I hate this fucking game. I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do if you actually have a fucking job or, you know, a life. You've got no chance of fucking playing this game. I thought fucking Star Rail was a time sink. Give me a fucking break. This game wants your fucking life. God, it's so bad. Okay, that was nice and quick at least. And I just hit level 30. Right, let me just quickly Google it. Union contribution law. Ethereum restart. Let me just put union contribution. How does it work? No, I think you're full of shit. AI. Easiest win, daily check-ins. Yeah, you don't think I'd do that. Every day each member can check in, which contributes to a pool of rewards. Yeah, now the only other thing I can think of is by doing those weekly fucking tasks or whatever. But like, I've got things I want to spend my energy on. I have so much fucking energy. And so much time. Why can't I just get contribute? It's so dumb. Like, as long as I'm playing the game and spending energy, why isn't that counting towards contribution? It's so dumb. It's so then it feels like the game's just saying, no, fuck you. You got to do all you got to spend all your energy and all your resources on things that you don't want to spend them on, just so you can like, ooh, stay in a guild and look like you're pulling your weight. Fuck you. I'm playing the game. The game ain't fucking playing me. Oh man, that's what I hate about these fucking games that have this like attitude. Take themselves way too seriously. Like, who's the fucking player here? Me? Yeah, so fuck off. I'll play it the way I want. Like, I have things I want to try and do, right? I'm still trying to build my teams. I'm trying to get better gear. And the whole thing takes forever. And it's so fucking sweaty and grindy. So I already spend way longer in here than I actually want to. And if you think I'm going to spend even longer doing these pissy ass little things that I don't even want to do, just to make a number go up for my union, well then fuck it, I'd rather just not be in a union. But I bet it's really difficult to fucking continue this game if you're not in a union. I bet you're any money. Because first of all, like, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to get those red things otherwise. Yeah, this game takes itself way too fucking seriously. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, it's coming together. Alright, I will see you later. Bye.